Hey YouTubers, originally this was going to be a video about Java Fern Wendelove and growing it on driftwood, but unfortunately, before I had a chance to master the movie, I discovered that Cory from Aquarium Co-Op did one and just released it today. So he beat me to the punch, so I guess I got to come up with something new on the fly. And being that it's only Monday and my brain hasn't completely recovered from the weekend, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make this video about kind of what my plans are for the future, and we'll do a quick tank tour of all my tanks. So I guess we'll kick it from there, and let's get started. All right, so I guess we'll kind of start out here, slowly work our way through the tanks and stuff like that. But give you a quick view of what's going on out here in the outdoor growing department. All the water and everything is pretty much settled in. I'm getting, I don't know if this will actually show up on video, but I'm going to hold this real steady. And if you look down into the water, you can see I do have mosquito larvae in this particular, it's a galvanized steel bin. No pollywogs or baby frogs or whatever in this one. I think the what is it, zinc or whatever that the galvanized steel gives off into the water, I think that kills off or whatever. So you never get any of the frogs in this one, although they do try to lay their eggs, because I can see the massive eggs on it a lot of times in the morning. Oh, I had a question about that. Frogs or toads? I really don't know the answer to that. I have seen them out here at night, walking past, but we only have like one of those bug lights out here, so it's really dim, and it's kind, I mean, I haven't actually picked one up and examined it, so I don't know if it's a tree frog or a toad or what it is or whatever. I just know that I'm getting the fry from it, or the babies from it, pollywogs, whatever. This tank over here, if you can look down in there, you should be able to see some Java moss. It's growing like crazy. There's some Riccia, whatever you want to call it. Red root floaters, and yes, if you look at the red root floaters, you can put them in sunlight or highlight, and you will get the red on the top. You can see it right there. So for those of you who've had that question, and you can see the roots right there. Be able to see them. Yeah, right in there, in the middle, floating down there, they are truly red roots. So they're doing real well. Over here is my Blixa grow out. I just devoted this completely to Blixa this year, and that's what Blixa looks like. You notice with the lower water level, it kind of bushes out a lot more. It spreads out. It doesn't grow as high. Now, if you look at the videos where I have it in the 55 gallon, it gets a lot taller and thinner bladed. But under full sunlight, you see it just gets the bigger, wider leaves and spreads out more. Quick shot of my herb garden. That's supposed to be cilantro. And the whole reason I put this whole thing up was because I wanted to grow cilantro. I don't know if I got a bad plant or what, but it ain't doing too well. Now here's another question, if anybody can answer this, that grows cilantro or whatever. You see right there, the big leaves. That's the way I originally planted it. But over here, and especially right in there, you can see it. It's that little spindly, very wiry leaf. If anybody can shed some light on why that is or what's that all about, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, the basil, the parsley, and the thyme are doing well. So let's get back over here. Apparently the new algae ponds hasn't worked too well for this one. I got split pea soup in here, and there are still pollywogs in here. I think a lot of them have grown up and left, but there's still a few in there. I'm going to dose again today with the new algae. This is the newest container that I just set up this, maybe a month and a half ago or whatever. I'd have to go back and look at the videos. I think it was about a month and a half ago I set it up, and it is dirted down below. I have a feeling that what has happened is that a lot of the nutrients are cutting loose from that dirt and over nutrient. There's not that much in here growing at this time. I'm going to probably throw some more of this water Sprite on top as a nutrient magnet, because it usually sucks it up pretty quick. Might even put some of the red root floaters in here. But at this point, I think I'm going to do partial water change in this thing a little bit, and put some fresh water in it, dose it with some new algae again, and put some extra plants in there to soak up some of those nutrients. I think that's what's happened here. But so future plans for this. I'm going to pretty much stick with what I've got for this season right here. Come the end of the season, what I like to do is there's some old firewood down underneath here that is going to go bye-bye. I'm going to keep whatever is still viable to burn in the fireplace for winter, and the stuff at the bottom that is just about turned to dirt is going to get shoveled out into the yard, and I'm going to clean out this whole area here. I'm going to break the brick stand. You can see right there and there. I'm going to put a centerpiece in here to support those boards a little bit better, because if you can see, if I step back here, they are kind of bowing a little bit, and that's with just those on there. And of course I put the heaviest ones at the end. But next season I do plan on adding some more containers out here, and I'm going to probably take like maybe that big green Rubbermaid job right there and put it down underneath, and maybe do some stuff down there. Haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to try to maybe make a aquaponics or whatever. There's my phone. Hydroponics, aquaponics, or whatever like that system out of it. Put some fish in the green thing. I don't know. I'll have to see what I'm going to do there. At any rate, yeah. What's going to happen here is more containers next season, and we're going to expand the plants that I keep. Obviously, with these lower containers, I can only really keep floating or short-lived or small plants or whatever like that. I would like to try to propagate some like glossostigma, maybe some AR mini. Let's see what else I got. Some SP rippins up in the 40 gallon, and some AR mini in the 40 gallon. Downoi. So I'm going to try to go with some of the plants that aren't as readily available, that you usually have to do mail order or do the tissue cultures of at one of the two big pea stores, and try to get that into the area and be able to sell it for a decent price. But that's the plans for out here. So we'll take a trip in, and we'll get into the tanks inside next. Alright, start off with this little 4.5 gallon Aquarium tank that I wanted one of the aquarium meets. Needs work, needs help, a lot of algae, and yes, it does have snails, and I just recently added in couple of token red cherry shrimp. It's got 2 little Celestio Danios in there. I believe that's a male and a female with the difference in the coloration. And the darker one with the better coloring seems to be always chasing the other one around. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do like a whole new deal with this tank real soon, if I can find the time. Thinking about putting a nice, dressing up a nice piece of driftwood with some Java moss and maybe a nano Anubias or whatever like that, or something. I don't know. I'm gonna do some work on this. It definitely needs it. You would think the one that is sitting on my desk where I do all my work and stuff would be one of the nicest tanks, and it's probably the worst of all my tanks. So I did put this Phoenix light on there. It's the I had the box for it over here. I guess it on there. Anyway, it's one of the Phoenix. It's got the 3. If you can, you can't see it. It's too bright. It's got the red, blue, and white lights in it. So that's pretty much what's going to be happening here. The next time you see this tank, it's going to look completely different. Like I say, this is just a matter of when I got some time to do it. So, just one of those deals. Over here, the shrimp tank. Doing great as always. The subwasher tank has just exploded. As you can see, it's grown out through half the way out in the tank. There's a little Anubias. I might trim it up, take some of the trimming on that, and put that in the little tank over here. This tank, I thought about doing a rescape on it, and you know what? This is one of those deals that this guy right here. Look at that. Beauty. I thought about doing stuff with it, but it ain't broke, and I really don't want to fix it. It has always been a successful cherry shrimp tank, produces a lot of cherry shrimp. I've sold a lot of them. At this time, no, I do not have any for sale, so don't bother asking, unfortunately. Maybe this fall. I made the mistake of putting some red cherry barbs. The red cherry barbs or whatever. I don't know, it was the red barbs or whatever of some sort. Maybe it wasn't cherry. No, it wasn't cherry barbs. It was these smaller fish. At any rate, I added them in there because the last couple of guppies that I tried to put in there didn't last very long. And although they were doing quite well, I was seeing my shrimp population diminish over a period of time. So I think they were avidly going after the baby shrimp, and even with all that subwasher tank, I think they were culling my tank considerably, because usually I have millions of these guys in here, and the population has since dwindled. So on that note, I did remove them, and they are now happily living up in the 40-gallon, which you will see later. And I hope that the population can increase again. I can get the population back up here. And hey, by the way, for anybody who also raises red cherry shrimp, if you're in the southeastern United States and interested in doing a genetic swap, I would definitely be interested in doing that. Like trading out, 10 for 10 type thing. 5 females, 5 males for 5 females, 5 males, and I'll pay the shipping to get mine to you, and you pay the shipping to get yours to me, and that way we kind of enliven the genetics, because I've had this one group that started from the original 7 I got for about 2 years now, and I'm no shrimp expert or anything like that, but I know that only good can come out of maybe intermixing some or putting some new blood or new genetics in there. So, shoot me an email, paulsplanetaquariums@gmail.com, or You can IM me from Google Plus, or oh yeah, by the way, I now have a Facebook page, which is Paul's Planted Aquariums. So I'm now on Facebook. Y'all go by and check that out if you get a chance. Give me a thumbs up or whatever. But yeah, for those who might be interested in, there's one buried right there. Yeah, she's carrying. If you're interested in doing a swap or whatever, get in touch with me, and we'll work it out. Work it out. But I definitely would like to get some new genetics in here. So, yeah. Well, I guess that pretty much covers the planted shrimp tank. So next up, we got the big boys. Okay, so we'll start off with the breeding slash whatever tanks you want to call, grow out tanks really, I guess. This is what I got left of the Pistos. All males, people. I think I counted them, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. About 12 left. 12 left from the original broodings and breedings. I've had no other breedings since, and we'll go into that a little further when I get over there. This is, there's the male, and there's the female back in there. Let's see, you can see her, yeah, there's one of the females. There's 2 females in here with this male, so that's the start of hopefully another pairing. I hope he'll hook up with one of the 2 of those. Got a little cave in there for them, and underneath all that Java moss, you can just barely see it. See, the orange of it is a pot, a terracotta pot. So they've got some caves and stuff to spawn in. So we'll see what happens with that. These 2 tanks have just been broken down almost completely, scrubbed out, cleaned, and so they're good to go. That's about all I'm going to be doing with them. Hopefully I'll get some breeding out of these 2, and as I said, that's the last 12 Pisto males that I got for sale. Anybody interested? You know the routine. Get in touch with me. Okay, over here is, somehow or another, this one lowly shrimp has survived. That's the only one I've seen. And there is another Rapisto in here who was the female. There she is. Right there in the center of your screen, that little black thing in front of the rock. That is a female Apistogramma agassiz flametail. She was one of the original females that I got from Apisto Dave out in Oregon. And I moved her in here when the other, I had 2 males and 2 females. One male died, and the other male hooked up with the other female, so I moved her in here to avoid any conflicts. This tank is more or less kind of a holding tank. It does need some work. As you can see, there's some leaves that are... I don't fertilize or really do anything with this tank. I just feed it, let it roll. It's kind of my fallback tank or whatever. I'm gonna give it a little love in here sometime soon. It's sorely been neglected for quite a few years now. I mean, even you can see it definitely needs some potassium in here. So I'll have to show it a little love in here coming up. But that's the 10 gallon. That's the one that old Bubba used to be in. And let's move on. Alright, so now we are up to the 20 gallon long. This tank is in also sore need of. I'll give you a for example. Look at the crap that is built up there, the detritus. This is going to get a severe cleaning and scrubbing coming up tonight, this afternoon or tonight, depending on when I finish editing and producing this thing and getting it up online and taking care of some other business. It still contains the breeding female and male in it, along with another male, maybe two other males. And I think what has happened is I got the one brood out of that mated pair, and then since then the other males that are in here have been scarfing up the babies and the eggs and stuff since. So I'm gonna do a intense cleaning, get this thing back into shape this afternoon or this evening, and probably do a little rearranging of the plants and the layout and everything. It's about time. And when I'm done with that, I will be removing the other males, so that it'll just be the one mated pair, which the male is back in there. You can see his tail, a little bit of him fluttering around. Him and the female, and let them go at it and see what I can get out of that. So optimum would be that I get this tank back into breeding condition and get some breeding going on, and I also get a breeding pair out of that other two in the 10 gallon. So we'll have to see what happens there, but that's the plans for the 20 gallon law. Alright, and here we are up at 40. I do have a breeding pair of angels in here. Haven't seen anything from them recently, but I know it is a male and a female, and they have, well, the female's laid a couple of clutches, and the male has fertilized them, and they've never made it past about 2 or 3 days, just to where you could see some movement in the eggs and stuff. So I know I do have a breeding pair in here. They just haven't been able to figure out that they need to let the things hatch and survive and not eat them all. Hopefully that'll happen soon. Talking earlier about doing some more grow out and stuff this next season. I want to try to propagate this stuff, the AR Mini. And yes, that is BBA, and yes, you could see that it's kind of yellowed and whitish and everything like that, because I just hit it yesterday with some peroxide, and that will die off and be gone soon. But I am going to take a bunch of clippings come next season, possibly even, I might start at mid-season here now. I might rearrange that Blixa container a little bit and try and get a feel for how well this stuff is going to grow. But I'm going to do clippings from that and try to propagate it. That's S. rippens. I'm going to do clippings from that, and this little field of down away there. I keep trying to get out and get some more of that, but haven't been able to. It's slowly propagating. It's not the ideal conditions for down away, obviously, in my tank. Don't know exactly what it's missing, but it is slowly growing, just not prolific like I have seen in other people's tanks. So I'm gonna, those three definitely. Pick up some some other low growing plants, and I'll probably be working with them too. So here lies the 40 gallon breeder, and it's doing its thing. The new algae definitely works in this tank. No complaints whatsoever. It's always crystal clear, and other than the black beard algae, I have no problem with green spot or anything else, any other types of algae. It is just rolling along. So that's where we're at with the 40 gallon. Now, finally, drum roll, we move on to the master of ceremonies, the 55 gallon planted show tank. Boom. Okay, so what's going to happen with this tank? Well, this tank it's been my tripper. It was the first of the grouping. This was the, if you don't know the history, you can always look back in some of my real early videos, which if you're really thinking about starting up a planted tank, I do recommend go back to the beginning, see what I started with, and see where it, see how it progressed and how it became this tank. This was a fish-only tank for years and years and years. I attempted to grow plants multiple times and was very unsuccessful. Ended up with a bunch of mush. And finally in 2012, when I had to make a decision of either tearing this thing down completely and either selling it or getting rid of it or whatever, or putting it back up because it had been sitting drained for probably about 4 or 5 years due to life. We'll just leave it at that. I made the decision to give it one more try, and I filled it back up and decided I would try once more with the plants. And ergo, I decided to utilize the internet, and I found that YouTube was very, very, very helpful in guiding me through and getting me started in this. So one of the reasons I set up this channel is to, shall we say, give back a little bit, pay it forward. But like I say, if you go back and look at the original videos and see what I started with and how it progressed, it's well, when you see what I started with and you look at what it is now, it's kind of almost amazing. I even get just flustered when I look back and see what I started with. So this is the 55. What's going to happen with it? What's going to become in the future? I've got quite a few ideas for this tank. I'm not going to discuss them in this video. I'm still kind of tossing around what I want to do, and I just, I want to keep that for future videos. That's going to be a surprise. Not going to be anything anytime soon, I can tell you that. Probably at earliest it'll be this fall when I decide to do something. But at this point, it's just pretty much going to stay as is. I'm somewhat of the old-fashioned way of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I know there's a lot of people out there that, they set something up and they get this beautiful scape going, and 2 months later they're bored of it and they got to rip it all out and move it around and change it. And maybe when I was a little bit younger, but at this point in my life, and as many times as I tried to get this thing to grow, I just assume leave well enough alone. It's growing, it's lush, it's beautiful. I can come up here and I can relax after a hard day at work and just chill out, enjoy it. And I got enough stuff on my plate already than to have to every couple of months rip stuff out, move it around, just because it's boring to me. And to me, this tank never gets boring. So I guess it's to each their own. At any rate, that sums up the tour. Other things coming down the road, I will be doing a series on the dosing pumps and setting up the dosing pumps for this particular tank. If you didn't catch it in a video earlier, go back to the South Carolina meeting. It was about 2 or 3 videos ago. The SCAA meeting or whatever. I picked up a couple of dosing pumps, BRS dosing pumps. What I'm going to be doing is using them to dose my 2-part ferts. So I'll have the the Plantex B with a little extra added iron in it, and the NPT or NPK rather, NPK mixture, and it will through the apex, it will drive those dosers and take care of that. I'm also looking into maybe doing an auto top off or possibly a water change. I'm looking very seriously at that. I still do it the semi-easy way. I don't know if I mentioned this. I did upgrade this. I went out. Harbor Freight was having a special on their sump pumps, so I went out and picked up a heavy-duty sump pump, and I put that down in there now, and that's my new water change rig right there. I still use the Python to take the water out and do the gravel vac stuff, but this is the new rig. Maybe I'll do a video on that. If anybody wants to see a video on that, make a comment below and stuff, and maybe I'll go through how I put that together. But that's what fills the tanks back up afterwards, with nice, clean, aged water. So we'll leave it at that. Hope everybody has a great week, and we're getting ready to get some thunder boomers around here, so I'm going to shut it down because I got to go close some windows and stuff. And we'll see you soon.